All right, these are so grown out, but these are all my colors with Files by Les from the HDH Day at the Lake collection. And I did these nails on myself almost 5 weeks ago, so they need a little fill, but I was asked for a tutorial on how I did this. I'm like, absolutely, I'll give you a tutorial. So here's how I started it. I started with red rocks, and you've got to understand as I lay this down, just kind of wonky. My inspiration was Lake Powell, that is partially in Utah and partially in Arizona in the US. And it's this desert lake that is just the best thing ever. So this color came from inspiration from the rocks. Now what I did is I just laid it down kind of in a little bit of a squiggle, and then I cured it. Now you don't have to obviously sit and do one finger at a time when you're doing this. You're gonna wanna like be working on one, and when one hand's in, be working on the other so that you don't take up too much time. But what I did when I switched colors is I actually dipped it a little bit, let me move this so you can see, in acetone or alcohol, and wiped it out just to make sure I was clean before I grabbed for my next color. So let's see, the next color I used was Calm Waters, and I thought about the water up against that rock. So I trace what design I did, but then the goal is to make it different. You don't want the same squiggle going on. In fact, I'll bring it up from one color to the next. We're not here to mimic it. We're here to create a different look with the art. So I'm gonna cure that. And while it's curing, I'm going to take off the excess, make sure there's no residue, and wipe it off. And then I moved into my clear skies against the water. So I love these colors because like you can do art with them. They're so pigmented, it's insane. So I'm gonna accentuate that little bit of a hump, trace what you did on that side, and then change it. So let's make this side bigger now. And every nail is going to be a little bit different when you do a pattern like this. I'm trying to not lay it too heavy, but if you lay it just like you're not smashing it in, it will automatically float and give you this look, but with full pigment, which is so nice. Okay, so clear skies is down. Then I was thinking about the sand. Now I fell in love with this yellow color and I had to include it in the collection because it's not too like yellow bust, but it's also not like sunflowery. It's just this really cool yellow. And it's like, it almost leans slightly mustard, but doesn't go mustard, if that makes any sense. So, I mean, you can see I connected everything. You don't have to connect everything, but we will over here. We'll make this, think of like the beach along the water. Kind of did my first sketch of the idea there, but I'm still gonna trace the shape I had. And because I'm curing in between colors, they're not actually melting into each other. You could totally make them melt into each other. You're just gonna end up with a very different look because you'll have some in between colors that are so pretty. I would 100% support that. It's just not what I did on my end. I almost wanna make this bigger. So we're gonna. You gotta allow yourself that freedom to play here. Let's see if that can transition better. That's cute, guys. Okay. So then after sand is probably the most loved color of this whole collection. Let me clean my brush off really quick. I know it's hard on your brushes to do it this way, but I'll tell you, my brushes are never crazy expensive that I use, and they've been just fine. So the most popular, I feel like, has been this lobster red. It is just, you guys, look at this, I'll lay it down. It's so good. It's not a color you've seen before. It's not a red you've seen before. It just isn't. I've had so much feedback on this. I would say it's like a orangey red. I think that that's fair. I just wanted a really good red in this collection, like a summer red, because we were releasing it in the summer. And hi, we've got holidays we use red for, red toes. It just is a popular time for red. But I wanted to make sure that this collection could be carried through. That's kind of fun, we're reading. Could be carried through into Christmas and holidays and Valentine's. So I wanted that red. Ooh, it's good. Okay. Definitely more of a warm red than a cool toned red. Absolutely. It's on my thumb. A little grown out. But hey, it's worn really well. Okay, which brings me to sunset. Now I know lobsters don't exist in the lake. If you know me, I'm a redhead and I burn easily. So that's where lobster came from, which most people don't think about. Kind of funny. Okay, so this is sunset. So let's trace sunset. That perfect orangey coral. Utah sunsets are orangey coral, and they're honestly just magic. They really are. There we go, and we'll fill that in. See how much pigment is in these? Oh, I love it. Okay, cure, clean, and then we will take our final color, which is sun-kissed, just that little bit of rosiness. Even if you're somebody who doesn't burn like I do, but you know, kind of was just that sun-kissed cheek look. I love it. I'm gonna pull it along my cuticle, make sure it's nice and clean. Trace my shape. I want to make sure I connected there. There's our sun-kissed. It's pretty, it's cool how it goes from that kind of, these two are subtle by each other. So that's how I built these. That's how I did that and had the best time. So hopefully you enjoy it, have fun. This is available on Files by Less website. You can just search HDH and it'll pull the whole collection, or they're available for individual sale as well. I hope you enjoy it.